In a hall between worlds, the gods, demigods, and other powerful deities gathered once each millennium. Not for war or worship, but for entertainment. Purely to show off, bruising each other's egos and establishing if some of the colleagues were still existing or had been forgotten by their subjects, peasants and minions. "Welcome, immortals and those who merely act like it," proclaimed Zephyrus, their gracious host. "Coats to the left, egos to the right," he continued, as he was pointing to the other end of the reception hall. A large war god already made his presence known. "Do try not to wrestle the furniture this time, Vedran," teased Zephyrus with a smile. Vedran was not taking too much notice. "Furniture should fear me. My name will be sung in every battle song," said Vedran with this thunderous voice. Obviously, his brain wasn't as big as his brawn. "Civilizations fear your indoor voice, darling," said Lyril smoothly, as she glided silently to where Vedran was. "Isn't tonight about creation, not concussion?" referring to the upcoming competition, an activity that was eagerly anticipated at each millennium's gathering. Enkar and Nuen, the Anunnaki brothers, entered the hall. Enkar lean, serene, his tunic a web of faint circuitry like constellations. Nuen, more round-faced and bright-eyed, his ornate robes stitched with ancient tech. Nuen was carrying a small, gleaming globe in an open, beautifully wooden-crafted box. "Registration for Team Anu is complete. Stable, balanced, compliant," sighed Enkar with satisfaction. "And exquisitely philosophical," said Nuen happily. "Be careful, brother. One must handle Genesis with subtlety," warned Enkar. He loved his brother dearly and regarded him as highly intelligent, but he didn't think Nuen was the most stable kind of person. "I am careful," said Nuen, annoyed, wishing his brother would stop treating him like a child still. "Excellent." Enkar knew not to agitate his younger brother any further, as this was not the time to go into an argument. "Then let the contest of M-Class Genesis commence," announced Zephyrus through his microphone from the platform. "Please, I hope you all have created wisely. Try to leave your worlds intact for the final inspection. The one who has the most advanced world will be the winner." An applause echoed through the reception hall. Nuen took out the blue-green glowing globe from the box and moved towards the pedestal to place it there. "Observe. Gravity aligned, hydrology optimal, atmosphere pure, perfection incarnate," explained Nuen excitedly as he tried to place the globe on the pedestal. "And philosophically refined. A touch of motion will encourage hydrological—" "Brother!" exclaimed Enkar in shock, as a clumsy movement made by Nuen made the globe flip off the pedestal over the table. The sound of tiny screams of tiny people echoed through the hall, and the motion of seas crashing against shores rumbled even further. The clumsy accident obviously caused the great flood in the little world. After a short silence that seemed to last forever, Zephyrus said dryly, "And that concludes Team Anu's demonstration. Efficient and wet." If the guests had bothered to come closer to the fallen small orb, they would now have seen a once perfect planet, now completely submerged under a roiling, chaotic ocean. Only the faintest outlines of continents were visible beneath the turbulent, deep blue water. A tiny Noah's Ark could be seen battling the waves, a perfectly beautiful world on its way to maturity, now subjected to a reset and a setback of thousands of years of development. "I told you to be careful," hissed Enkar angrily at his younger brother. Nuen was totally crestfallen. How would he ever forgive himself for this disaster? He loved those little people, and now most of them were gone. "It was a pedagogical flood. Amphibians will adore it," said Lyril with a smirk on her beautiful face. "Iconic, tragic, damp, 10 out of 10 for drama, minus several million for survivors." Lyril elegantly stepped on the platform. Next contestant, Lyral, the goddess of the veiled flame, announced Zephyrus, moving on from the sadness. Behold, proclaimed Lyral proudly, crafted from the finest light threads of Orion, eco-conscious and dazzling. But then, suddenly, the roof of her golden globe caved in. Mountains crumbled with a thundering that echoed through the hall. Sounds of mudslides, trees shifting from one side to another, until there was only a cracked, open globe left with vapor coming out of it. And silence. Imported materials again, Zephyrus whispered in Lyral's ear. Recycled, technically, she answered softly. A limited edition piece, fragile. Your mortals died before mine even drew a sword. Vedran's roar of laughter broke the whispering of Zephyrus and Lyral. Spectacular self-inflicted collapse. Thank you, Lyral. Zephyrus sighed and guided Lyral off the platform. The guests tried to applaud. Vedran stomped onto the platform and trusted his tiny red glowing globe on the pedestal. Vedran, please, moderation, commented Zephyrus. Observe true creation, life forged in conflict. Vedran's thunderous voice echoed through the reception hall. They lived to test themselves. Peace would starve them of purpose. Zephyrus bowed over the small, reddish, glowing globe and saw two large armies charging each other on a battlefield. The sky was red, and the grounds were littered with dead bodies. Stones were catapulted from large devices from one army to another. Utter chaos, and neither army seemed to be doing well at all. Tiny horns of war echoed through the reception hall. Do they ever stop? Queried Zephyrus curiously, looking up from the globe. Vedran glared at Zephyrus in annoyance. Of course not. He breathed heavily. Right, breathed Zephyrus, still astonished by what he had seen. An unending draw, equilibrium by attrition, marked, eternally inconclusive. He stepped aside to let Vedran step off the platform. And now, Solander, guardian of Earth, announced Zephyrus, grateful that this would be the last contestant of this millennium's event. Thank the universe. An older man weaved through the crowds towards the platform. In one hand, he had a long walking stick, worn and smooth by use and time. In his other hand, he carried a small, blue, glowing globe. People were whispering, "But he is not a god." Another one whispered, "Nevertheless, he was sent by the universe, so they have to let him in." Solander placed his small, blue, glowing globe on the pedestal on the platform carefully. The guests were still whispering to each other. Some were in dismay, others were curious. Zephyrus bowed over the small globe to take a closer look. "It's quiet," Nguyen said in wonder, edging closer to the platform. "They have no armies," growled Vedran curiously. "It's a fifth density world. Even higher, I might say," said Solander kindly, "created by the universe. They have each other." Solander finished. "I think we have our winner," Zephyrus smiled. The audience burst out in applause and cheering. Indeed, only the universe would be able to develop a perfect world with enough time, love, and care. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more stories coming out in the near future.